So this is going to be a Scatterplot introduction. And the first thing we want to do is define the words bivariate data. Bivariate data. Now, bi usually means two. So for bivariate data that goes along with scatterplots, we are going to be comparing two things. Comparing two different things. So the first example is a child's age and the child's height. And we're probably going to be talking about a young child, like starting at the age of 1 to the age of 10. As the child's age increases, then their height would also increase. So in comparing that, when you did the scatter plot, it would be positive. And you'll see the picture in a second. So as the child's age goes up, they get older, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, their height also goes up. Now, it won't necessarily be linear. It won't necessarily mean they grow 3 inches every year or 1 inch every year. It would change, but overall, the pattern would be positive. Second example, the age or year of a car and the value of the car. So actually, it's probably a better word for this is age. So as the age of a car goes up, it means it gets older and older and older. So you buy it new, now it's 1 year old, now it's 2 years old, now it's 3 years old. The value of that car goes down. As it gets older, the value is going down. So that would be a negative scatter plot. And you'll see a picture of that one in a second too. Again, the age. Let's say you started and bought a car for $30,000. After it's a year old, it's probably going to be about $25,000, worth about $25,000. Again, it's not necessarily going to be specifically linear and go down so many thousands every year, but overall, it's going, as this goes up, this goes down. And the next one, your shoe size and your IQ, how smart you are. Now, your shoe size obviously has nothing to do with your IQ. It is not the bigger your foot, the smarter you are, or vice versa. They're not related at all. So here is no relationship or no correlation, and you'll see the picture of that in a minute. They have nothing to do with each other. So here's what these would look like. So here's number 1, positive. So if you want to draw a little small graph and put the dots, you see they're overall going uphill. This one's number 2. The dots are overall going downhill. This one is number 3, no correlation. They're all over the place. And this is just an extra one when all the dots are in a line, but it's horizontal, or it could be vertical. That's a linear correlation. So the new word that we're seeing here is correlation. Positive correlation, the dots are going uphill. Negative correlation, overall, the dots are going downhill. No correlation, the dots are all over the place. And then finally a linear, they're in a line, but they're just flat or straight up and down. These are all pictures of scatter plots. So like this one would have age and height. Just for an example, going back to the first example, and so on. So this word correlation has other words that you might see in its place have the same meaning. You might see a positive correlation, or you might see a positive relationship, or you might see a positive trend. All 3 of these words mean the same thing as correlation. Different textbooks and different resources use all three of these terms. Correlation, relationship, or trend. All three. And then finally, we're going to look at the three different features that you look for in a correlation. You can categorize them three ways. Three features of a correlation. First of all, its strength. So we could say that it is weak, moderate, or strong correlation. A weak correlation might be the dots are all going uphill, but they're kind of spread out. Moderate, they're a little closer. Strong means they're super, super close to the line. They're tight, close together. So the stronger it is, the closer the points are to each other. That's talking about the strength. Weak, moderate, or strong. I don't love this because this is usually a judgment call. Okay? Second, it's either a positive, negative, or no correlation. That's what we talked about up here. Positive, negative, or no correlation. Uphill, downhill, or nothing at all, spread out all over the place. And then finally, the last one is linear or nonlinear correlation. That means they're in a line or they're not in a line. They might be curved or got a bend or a fold in it or something. Linear or nonlinear. So those are your three different types of features for correlations. Strength, weak, moderate, or strong. Positive, negative, or no correlation. Linear or nonlinear.